and then we go to 5.
Yes. You just came in on Sandy misunderstanding the rules, so check off that bingo slice and welcome everyone to Full Metal 5. And yes, we walked in on that conversation. This is our flagship top 5 show. We curate a top 5 list right here live for you people. And in honor of the release of The Predator this weekend, God, I hope it doesn't suck, even though it probably will. We are tackling one of the greatest subjects known to man, or at least in film, and that is the top 5 best 80s action movies. The 80s. The time where baby oil flowed like water, bad guys couldn't shoot, and Arnold Schwarzenegger had a career. And we are going to be looking at the best of it right here, right now. And to do that, I have a great panel. Some new blood, some older blood, some medium blood, and overall just a lot of blood, as you would expect in a movie, a panel about 80s action movies. First of all, I want to say maybe there's 2 people who are on the 80, but this guy definitely was. It's Sandy Robinson. Sandy, what's up, buddy?
Hey, Chance, I'm doing good. Thanks for having me onto this one. Yeah, there's a real good chance that I'm the only person that actually lived through the entirety of the 80s as a physical human being and not just a tiny little baby or a zygote, as some of you were at that time. But this is going to be a lot of fun. I'm just, I don't even know what to nominate first. So, yeah.
Well, let's see if this next panelist can prove that theory wrong, because next to him, she is the vicious trollop. It is Jessica Morgan. Jessica, what's up, girl?
Well, I think he's kind of true, because I think I'm the next oldest one, and I missed the first half of the 80s. But I do get the good half of the 80s, so,
Oh, well, we will debate that very much later in the show, I can guarantee. Or later when we do top 5 best movie years. Next to him, he has not been around in a while. Maybe in that time he's taken his movie count from 9 to 12. It is the Hitman, Hunter Chambliss. Hunter, how you doing, buddy?
Actually, Chance, it went up to 9, okay?
Oh, it was at 9 before, so you didn't watch anything?
Okay, 10 then.
Okay, that's better.
Thank you for having me on. I'm ready to do this. And as somebody who was born in 98, this should be very interesting.
Oh, yes, absolutely. Of course, happy to have you on. And finally rounding out our panel, he had his first taste of Full Metal 5, and he's already back for more. It is Jonathan Peck. Jonathan, what's up, buddy?
Very good chance. Very good chance. And by the way, Hunter, I'm born in 98 too, so you're not alone on that one. So, and can't wait to talk about some 80s films. Even though I wasn't born or grew up in the 80s, I know my movie buff knowledge about action films and all the 80s stuff. So, count me in.
I grew up in my grandmother's house, so that's essentially the next best thing to the 80s. So the way this show works is we curate, as I said before, we curate a top 5 list right here live. And that way we do that, we go in 3 different selection processes. The first one is the nomination period. What we're just going to do, we're going to go around each nominate a different 80s action movie until we get to a top 7. For me to make a top 7, it has to get 3/5 majority vote. So I'm going to start off the voting with a movie that anytime there's a generational action list, but especially when there's an 80s list, this movie needs to come up. This movie has perfect action, perfect comedy. It's about a man in a dire situation. It's about Christmas. It's about so much. It's about race relations. It's about, being in touch with someone that you can't see or hear or feel. I mean, you can hear them, but you can't see or feel them. What am I talking about? I'm, of course, talking about Die Hard. I mean, come on. This is one of the most perfect films ever made. You got Bruce Willis in the role that made his career. It really defined a whole, generation of action movies for, Die Hard on a blank. There's so much that Die Hard did for the action genre. It started the whole, thing of the everyman rising up to be a badass. I mean, the dude's tank top is in the freaking Smithsonian. That definitely earned a spot on top 7. I'm going to go to Jonathan first. Jonathan, Die Hard, does it make top 7?
Yes, it is. Yes, it is indeed. And I'll agree with everything you just said. So everything is perfect. So there.
All right. Awesome. I'm going to go to Hunter next. Hunter, Die Hard, does it make top 7?
Oh, hell yeah. Yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker. Come on, that's an iconic line. As Chance pointed out, it's one of the best Christmas movies of all time. The action is just so incredible. What Chance brought up again, the everyman being the hero, he's thrown into the situation. Just Alan Rickman as the villain is incredible as Hans Gruber. Just, yes.
All right, so that settles it as usual. The first movie nominated, as usual, not always, as usual, the first movie nominated makes the top 7 as Die Hard, the first one to make the list. Jessica, Sandy, you guys didn't get votes, so I'm going to go to each of you guys. Jessica, what would you have said about Die Hard?
Oh, it's definitely on the list. Heck, it's also on the list of my top 5 Christmas movies.
Oh yeah, that should have been on the list. Why was that not mentioned? Well, for one reason, I wasn't on that show. And Sandy, what would you have said about Die Hard?
Well, Hunter stole my line, because that was going to be my only response to.
Do the cable TV line. Do the cable TV line.
Hey, mother.
Yeah, no. This not only does this movie deserve to be on the list. In fact, if it doesn't win the list as the best action movie of all time, well, especially in the 80s, not just of all time, but the 80s specifically, this movie has it all. Action, bravado, foreigners trying to steal something, big explosions, buildings blowing up the tops of them off, cars and police cars getting smashed from the bottom, shot up. I mean, it has everything. It has everything. It was Bruce Willis's calling card, to say, hey, I'm here. So yeah, absolutely deserves to be on this list.
All right, and there's a reason I went to you last, because I want the next nomination to come from someone who was actually born of this generation. So, well, not born, but who lived through it. Sandy, you got the next nomination, brother.
All right. I'm going to go with this one. I have literally 30 movies on my list here to try to whittle down into a list. So I'm not going to go with my top pick right now, but I'm going to go with something that was very, very high on my list. I feel the need for speed.
Motherfucker, no.
Top Gun, baby. Top Gun should be on this list. It is one of the best action movies in the 80s. It has all of the action of every other movie we're going to talk about in the sky. Yeah, that's right. Not just running around on the ground playing volleyball, but dogfighting in fighter jets. So that's why the action in Top Gun is so awesome. And not only does it have fun meaning to it, but it actually had real world, because it was loosely based off of a true story. The Top Gun school in Miramar actually exists. And I mean, look at the people that were in it. Tom Cruise, Val Kilmer, Anthony Edwards,
Tom
Skerritt, Michael Ironside,
Meg
Kelly
Ryan.
Willis, Meg Ryan. The list of people that were in this movie, Tim Robbins. A lot of people forget about Tim Robbins, but he was Merlin. He was the original Rio, and the guy that was that lost his wings. So yeah, I vote for this movie just because it absolutely deserves a spot.
Oh man, that's a dirty move, especially having me on this panel. So Top Gun is up for voting, and I'm gonna go to me next. There's so many, like I said, there's so many movies I can make this list. I'm surprised you went with this one first. But I mean, anybody who knows me knows what my answer is going to be. I give this one a hell yes. Why? Because of Tom Cruise, and Tom Cruise alone. That's not the only reason why, but come on, Tom Cruise should be on every single list that we do. And also, yeah, like Sandy said, like this has all like the great action that a lot of 80s movies do. A lot of 80s action movies do have in the freaking sky. I mean, come on. I mean, this movie caught so much fire that it's actually coming back. Like, we're getting Top Gun Maverick in 2020, which I am super pumped for. Not to mention, you got the great soundtrack done by Kenny Loggins. So many great tracks on that.
Harold Faltermeyer.
Yeah, him too. But yeah, Top Gun, absolutely, it definitely makes the list. I maybe don't want to say yes, but I say it definitely makes it. I'm going to Jessica next. Jessica, Top Gun. Does it make top 7?
If you guys have ever seen me on this list, you know that I have the makes Chance incredibly upset hot take of I'm not a big fan of Tom Cruise.
Sad.
After about 1993.
Hooray!
This is my favorite Tom Cruise movie. Full stop. I'm putting it on the list. And fun fact is XO on the USS Indianapolis. Also the principal from Back to the Future.
Yep.
That is true. That is very true. Yes. Well, Jessica, that's funny. Jessica, wrong on Tom Cruise, but right on Top Gun, making top 7. And I got to show you guys this real quick. You want to know how big a Tom Cruise fan I am? When writing down the top 7, instead of writing the title of the movie, I literally just wrote down Tom Cruise.
That's great.
Tom Cruise and Top Gun both make the list. So Jonathan, Hunter, you guys didn't get votes. So what would you guys say? Jonathan, what would you say about Top Gun?
As very much I like Top Gun, I would have given it a no, to be honest.
Get
out. Let me explain. The reason why, because I think there are other action films they're slight better than Top Gun though.
Get out.
And that I'm sorry, but that's my opinion. Anyway, I think that's it.
All right. And Hunter, what would you say about Top Gun?
Chance, you're gonna want me to get out too because I haven't seen it.
You haven't seen it? I knew it. I fucking knew it. You haven't seen it. All right, fine. Hunter, you get to nominate something you have seen. Well, first of all, watch Top Gun. Second of all, you get to nominate something you have seen because it's your nomination.
Motherfucker.
Okay, I'm gonna go with this one. I don't know if it's gonna make it or not, but I'm going Star Wars: The Empire Strikes Back. And you talk about one of the perfect movies in my eyes. It's got the family dynamic. It's got the action with the lightsaber scenes. The character development is so well done. You learn a lot, including Luke Skywalker's father is Darth Vader, and from that spoilers. But yeah, just everything about The Empire Strikes Back is just perfect in my eyes. So I'm nominating that.
All right, so. Yeah, this is the thing we're doing. The Empire Strikes Back is up for top 7. I'm going to go to Sandy first. Sandy, Empire Strikes Back. Does it make top 7?
Fuck, you had to go to me, didn't you?
I did have to go to you.
The Empire Strikes Back is my second favorite movie of all time.
What's number 1?
Number 1 is It's a Wonderful Life.
Really?
Yeah,
something new I know about you.
Capra is one of my favorite directors. That movie's my favorite movie of all time.
Sidetrack. Keep going.
Yeah, sorry. But do I consider Empire Strikes Back an action movie? I know that it has some action sequences in it, and those sequences are good. I gotta say no. I gotta say no. I wish that I didn't have to, but I have to say no just because I don't believe The Empire Strikes Back is a pure action movie. I think that it is a great story extender, middle chapter, and yeah, we had some great action in it. But if you were gonna nominate a Star Wars movie, you should have picked Return of the Jedi because it has way more action in it from start to finish on that movie. But that's just my opinion. So I got to go no.
Personally, I like Empire better than Jedi, but
we're not debating that. We're just saying. Well, we'll get into what we're saying later. Peck, your vote.
Same thing with Sandy. I had to give it a no though because for me, like, it has some action in it, even some great action. But I don't consider that movie or pretty much most Star Wars films action films. They're sort of more like more of the fantasy in my eyes. So I had to give it a no.
All right, going to me. I'm responsible for this because Hunter had literally messaged me before the show. Does Star Wars count as an action movie? And I said yes. I'm like, oh boy, I know where this is going. Yeah, I love Empire Strikes Back to death. But the action's not the reason I love it, though. I mean, it's great. There's a lot of great action sequences in the movie, but that's not. I don't. Yeah, it's not. It's not really standing as an action movie. So for that reason alone, for the first and possibly only time in human history, I'm gonna say no to Star Wars. No, so Empire Strikes Back does not make top 7. Jessica, you didn't get a vote. So what would you have said about Empire Strikes Back?
Oh lordy, it's probably in my top 5 like all-time movies if I ever actually had the balls to sit down and make that list.
I had to.
That list would take like days.
I had to do my 32 hours.
I expect a certain something out of my 80s action movies, and as much as I love Empire, it doesn't give me that.
Is it Shirtless Man? It's Shirtless Man, isn't it?
Wait, there's supposed to be shirtless men?
I guess that's not the one thing. So, but Jessica, you get to discuss a movie that has that one thing, and you get to go next. Your nomination.
Oh.
Decisions.
Oh. I was talking this over with the mister as soon as you announced what this was going to be, and I'm pretty sure I'm going to get divorced if I don't end up nominating one of these. And I'm going to have to go with 1987's RoboCop.
Fuck yeah.
Come on, dead or alive, you're coming with me?
Absolutely.
We all saw Star Trek Into Darkness and went, Admiral RoboCop.
That we did.
So iconic, even 30 years later. We got to put it on there.
Okay, first of all, somebody needs to make the Jessica Morgan shirt just Admiral RoboCop. What's the point? What's the point? Somebody get on that. But RoboCop is on the table. I'm gonna go to Hunter first. Hunter, have you seen RoboCop and does it make top 7?
I have seen RoboCop and hell yes it does. Your move, creep. Like dead or alive, you're coming with me. Just so many iconic lines. The action, it's gory and it's fan-fucking-tastic. So yes.
Okay, so that's one vote yes for RoboCop. I'm gonna go to Sandy next. Sandy, RoboCop does it make top 7? Sandy?
Murphy, are you hurt? Are you hurt? Lewis, are you hurt? Yeah, don't worry. They'll fix you. Of course this makes it on the list. You've got a guy that gets covered in toxic waste that is melting and gets run over by a gigantic freaking truck in a car, and the big gun blasts and everything all out of the place. Guy gets shot to death and turned into a giant robot that whoops everybody's. Come on. It's not just iconic, it is so iconic. RoboCop, you could put a picture of RoboCop's head anywhere in the world and somebody's going to walk by and go, RoboCop. And you know that's what's going to happen. That's how famous he is. Yeah, and let's take the remake out of it and the sequels. We're just specifically talking the first RoboCop. Absolutely deserves to be on this list. Action right from the beginning to the end.
For the record, Jonathan, Sandy was right. It actually is toxic waste, not acid. And RoboCop is the third movie to make the top 7, so my vote didn't count in this case. But I would. This is actually going to be the next movie I nominated had it come back to me. Actually, it will come back to me. So that was going to be my next movie nominated. I love this film. It's one of my favorite. It's one of them, like I think the most rewatchable films of all time.
Yeah.
And yeah, like it's funny. Like anytime I was like cruising channels the other day and I saw it was on like IFC or something, I'm like, well, I guess I'm watching this now. And yeah. I mean, it just flows like so naturally and so organically. And Paul Verhoeven, he was such a great director, and he still is a really great director because he did, like, in addition to great action, he did a great job, corporate, satirizing capitalism and corporate greed, and all this kind of stuff, and not to mention some of the greatest, bloodiest, glorious action ever put to film. I love RoboCop. It's one of my favorite movies to watch with my little sister, which is why she's a violent little psychopath, but I love her anyways. Yeah, so that's definitely a yes for me. Jonathan, what would you say about RoboCop?
Well, first off, I will buy that shirt for $1, please.
Yeah.
I'd buy that for $1.
Yeah, it's the same answer as all of you. I would give it a yes. So yeah.
All right. Well, we're off to a pretty good start. Jonathan, you're going to round out this cycle with your first nomination.
Before I'll make my selection, let me get something real quick.
You should, if you're going to bring props, have them ready before you go.
Oh no, here we go.
Oh boy.
Yeah, sure.
Nothing good ever comes from bringing out props.
Uh-oh.
Oh boy.
I know who. I just don't know which one.
Raiders of the Lost Ark. That's what I'm talking about. Raiders of the Lost Ark shouldn't make this list because similar with Die Hard, similar like RoboCop, is nearly a perfect movie, though. It flows very well. It directs very well. The stunts are fantastic. And the choreography scenes, fantastic. So I nominate Raiders of the Lost Ark.
All right, so Raiders of the Lost Ark is on the table. I'm going to go to Jessica first this time.
Oh, God. You're going to make me do this, aren't you?
Oh, boy.
Oh. I don't know if Raiders of the Lost Ark is enough 80s action for me. I mean, this is my single favorite Harrison Ford role of all time. Fuck Han Solo, I went Indiana Jones, but...
Jesus.
Hot take right there.
I'm saying no. It hurts, but I'm saying no.
All right, so that is 1 no for Raiders of the Lost Ark. Gonna go to Hunter next. Hunter.
As someone who just this year had watched all 3 of them back to back to back, I absolutely love
the first 3. The 4th exists. You can't ignore it.
I will ignore it. That does not count, Chance.
You haven't even seen it. You can't talk.
I just rewatched it. It's not that bad.
This is my favorite Indiana Jones movie. I agree there is a lot. I'm gonna disagree with Jess and say that I think there is enough action here for me to give it a yes. Just especially that opening scene. That opening scene is just incredible.
And the truck scene too.
The truck scene, yes.
All right. So that is 1 yes for Raiders. And I, first of all, disagree with Sandy. Yes, Crystal Skull is that bad. And I'm going to go to him for his vote on Raiders of the Lost Ark.
All right, let me preface that. I only had a small second to put my comment in there. The first half of Crystal Skull is not that bad. It's the second half that gets absolutely. I couldn't take it after the first 45 minutes. I was just like, oh, this sucks so bad. And I had great hopes for it too. I had great hopes for it after the first half, and I was like, whatever. I love Raiders. I really do. I don't even know if it has enough action to combat Temple of Doom or Last Crusade. I had both Temple and Last Crusade rated higher than Raiders for me, but I can't. Now that somebody's nominated Raiders, yeah, I mean, it's great. The action is great. I mean, the fact that Indy was, or that Harrison Ford was sick as a dog with the flu during the scene that he was supposed to have a slobber knocker fight with a guy wielding a big, huge honking sword, and came up with the idea just to pull his pistol and shoot him. Then you have the airplane fight where the guy gets gets shredded by the propeller. I mean, yeah, it's good. And one of the Indiana Jones absolutely needs to make it on the list. If this is going to be the one, I'm okay with that one.
All right, so that settles it. Indiana Jones, Raiders of the Lost Ark is on the top 7. Had it come to me, I definitely Jessica's holding up something. Crystal Skull is I can't read it.
Oh, it's so bad. Like
Oh Jesus. Okay, I am not even gonna finish what that point said.
Okay.
Had it come to me, my vote didn't count, but I would have given Raiders a yes. It's also my favorite Indiana Jones movie. I think Last Crusade's better, but I love Raiders to death. So, and actually, funny enough, much like with Star Wars, my first experience with Indiana Jones was the later movies, which I did like when I saw, but I after reflecting and seeing the originals, I'm like, oh my god, this is god awful. Coming back to me. Oh. And I think there's someone on this list who has been tragically ignored as of yet. I'm talking arguably the biggest movie star. Well, not the biggest. One of the biggest movie stars. Definitely the biggest action star of the 80s. We're talking Arnold. Arnold was a monster at the box office in the 80s when it came to action movies. So, one of his movies needs to be on here for sure. So it's a matter of which one to pick. And I'm going with... the reason we are even talking about this today, I'm going with Predator.
Ooh, okay.
Predator, also from the director, all from the director of Die Hard.
John McTiernan.
Predator blends, it blends sci-fi elements with hardcore action elements to make a really, really just kick-ass action film. This is definitely, I'll go as far as say it's my favorite Arnold Schwarzenegger 80s action movie. I mean, you have the great crew, you have the great action, you have the awesome kills, you have the excellent villain, one of the best movie villains, one of the best movie aliens of all time in The Predator. And yeah, it's just a really compelling story about, it's really just about these guys who go into the jungle and they're trying to get out while this ultimate hunter is hunting them. It's all about fighting the ultimate hunter, which I just love. I love that premise. I love the execution. I love Predator. I think it absolutely deserves to be on top 7. I'm gonna go to Jonathan first. Jonathan, Predator.
Wait a minute. Are you referring Predator to a B movie?
Shut up. Wow. Shut your fucking face.
Okay, I'm sorry. I just wanted to get that out of the way. I'm sorry. It's not it's not a B movie. I take that back. Yeah, that's the reason we made the list anyway, so I'm gonna give it a yes though. So I love Predator so much. Everything you say though, it blends everything very well. It shots very well. They have great characters to interact with and great characters to care about right here. So I gotta give it a yes.
All right, so that's one yes for Predator. I'm going to go to Hunter next. Hunter does Predator make top 7?
I actually had it on my list. I watched this kind of recently. And yeah, it's kind of cheesy, but I kind of love it at the same time. The action is just so fun. And as a huge wrestling fan, to see Jesse the Body Ventura in that role was just incredible. And that interaction between him and Arnold is just hilarious. So yeah,
I ain't got time to bleed.
Yeah, exactly right. So Predator makes top 7. Jessica, Sandy, you guys did not get votes. So Jessica, what would you say about Predator?
Get to the chopper.
Get to the chopper.
Take that as a yes.
Yeah.
Get to the choppers.
And Sandy, any more lines you want to go from Predator before you get your next nomination?
No, I have so many Schwarzenegger movies on my list here. Predator actually ranked just one below another one for me, but Predator makes the list hands down. It's one of the best action movies and one of the best ensemble casts for the 80s. I mean, it was so good. I mean, and the rewatchability is still so good. I can watch it. I watched half of it today when it was on TV, and it was great. So I'm like, I'm happy about it. So yeah, it's on the list for me, hands down.
And of course, Dylan, you son of a bitch.
You son of a bitch. Dylan. I think I know what movie we're talking about, Sandy, but maybe you get to bring it up right now because it is your nomination, Sandy.
I'm trying my best to make this list not all full of one person. So I was as soon as you
we're doing a pretty good job so far. Doing a pretty good job.
No, I get it. I get it. No, I am. But I am. I'm gonna pick another movie star from the 80s that absolutely needs to be on this list. It is just a matter of which movie I pick for him. And the movie that I am going to pick for him is. I'm going to change gears. I'm going to go with somebody else. I'm going to guy.
All that built up.
Yeah, no, I'm going to pick this one just because I think it deserves to be on the list, and if I miss it, I might not get back to me. So I really do need to put this on here. This movie was chock full of action from the opening sequence to the end sequence. He started off as a comedian and then transferred himself into action movies in the 80s by doing a bunch of them. But this was the first one, and he is Eddie Murphy as Axel Foley in Beverly Hills Cop.
Yes.
Exactly. It's so iconic that no matter what anybody says, you can say Beverly Hills Cop, and they come up with the Axel F. Song. This movie is great. It has all the elements. It has humor, but it's absolutely backed in force with so much action in this movie. It has to be here. So I nominate Beverly Hills Cop, Axel Foley.
We're not gonna turn this into Eddie Murphy laugh off. It's gonna very quickly go disastrously. Stop laughing, goddammit. We are going into voting. All right, we're going into voting. Beverly Hills Cop is on the table. I'm going to me first. This is tough because I love Beverly Hills Cop to death. I think it's one of the greatest. If we were doing top 10,
I know.
they could make it.
I know.
I don't think it's. Man, I love it, and it sucks. But there are 2 spots left, and I think there are other movies that can fill those spots better than Beverly Hills Cop. So I'm giving. Sorry, Eddie. Love this movie. Love you, buddy. But I got to give this one a no.
All right.
Gonna go to Jessica next. Jessica, Beverly Hills Cop. Does it make top 7?
Oh, I was hoping that somebody would bring up at least one of the 2 Beverly Hills Cops from the 80s.
Well, I did it.
And as much as I'm sure we all loved Brigitte Nielsen as leggy Beverly Hills blonde bitch number 7,327.
That was actually her name.
Beverly Hills Cop 2. This is probably the most pure. This is probably the more pure of the series. They kind of went a little bit hokey in the second one and a lot hokey in the third one. So yeah, I'm voting for Beverly Hills Cop.
So that is 1 yes for Beverly Hills Cop. Gonna go to Jonathan next. Jonathan.
Did one of you put your banana in your tailpipe? Okay. Just want to get that clear. I'm gonna give it a yes though, because Beverly Hills Cop is on my top 5 list when I was making these lists anyways, and it's more of the action people that a lot of people may think, because like if you've seen the couple minutes of Beverly Hills Cop though, it's really brutal when everything we saw in Detroit though. And we saw Eddie's friend got murdered in the apartment, though, and the open car chase around Detroit, though. So it's where it gets more action-based than some people may think. So I have to give it a yes.
All right, so Beverly Hills Cop makes the list. Hunter, what would you have said?
I haven't seen this one.
Figures.
It's
like every second nomination you haven't seen.
I'm sending him a list. I'm sending him a list this weekend of the must-see movies he has to watch.
Please do, Sandy. I will watch them.
Good.
All right. Well, either way, Hunter, we go to you for your next nomination.
Okay. I'm going with one that is. I don't know. All right, screw it. I'm going with another Arnold movie.
Good.
And I'm going The Terminator. I watched The Terminator and when I was real young, and I went back to it, and it reminds me how fucking terrifying the first Terminator movie was. I mean, he was brutal. He was a cybernetic organism. You can't stop him. He's a killing machine. And the time travel aspect of it is really interesting. Just the character developments, everything about this movie, including the action. The action is top fucking notch in this movie. So I'm putting up The Terminator.
All right. Terminator is up for top 7. I'm going to go to Sandy first.
I'll be back to me. No.
So you want to defer?
I'm gonna defer. I'm gonna defer on this one. I'm gonna take a break on this one and come at it later.
All right, I guess you're within your rights to do that. I'm going to me first then. And look, I love Terminator pieces, but I'm saying no for 2 reasons. A, Arnold's already got his spot on this list. He doesn't need to. B, Terminator 2 is better. Terminator 2 way outdoes the first one.
Yes, it is, but it wasn't in this time period, so I couldn't put it.
That doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. So either way, don't interrupt me, Hunter. Goddammit. So Terminator does. I love it to pieces. It's one of my favorite James Cameron movies. One of my favorite movies of all time, just as a whole. But I can't give the spot. Sorry, Arnold. You already got your spot. Don't be greedy. Other people need him too. All right. I'm gonna go to Jonathan. Jonathan, Terminator, does it make top 7?
Same thing as you said, Chance. I'm gonna give it a note. Same thing as you said. Plus, let me add one more thing. I don't consider the first Terminator film as an action movie. I consider it as more than a horror film, the way you look at it, though. Even you said it yourself, though. Like, Terminator is really scary, though, but it uses horror tropes to do it, though. So I look at it as a horror film, not very much an action film. So I had to give it a no.
All right, so that's 2 no's. Sandy, you ready for your vote?
Yeah, it's kind of why I wanted to listen to the other people do this one first, because I'm torn on this one. But Chance is exactly right. Terminator 2 is the better of the two, which is why I was hemming on it, because I agree with Jonathan as well that I consider this more of a horror thriller instead of an action adventure or action movie. Yeah, it has great action in it. Don't get me wrong. Like the cops chasing Kyle Reese through the department store, the nightclub scene, the steel plant scene at the end. All great action scenes, but I mean, if you're comparing the Terminator to T2 Judgment Day, I mean, it's got 9,000 times more action. So I have to say no on this one. Just on that alone, I think Arnold could probably fill this entire role. With his movies on here, he could fill this entire list, but not this movie.
Yeah, I feel like on another list he could make it, but with 1 spot left, nah. Sorry, Terminator. Jessica, what would you say about Terminator?
Kind of basically, you guys have already said it. I mean, Terminator 2 is almost a perfect movie.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Jessica, you get to give your next vote.
I'm hoping Jessica is going to rep the women.
You mean something like, "Get away from her, you bitch"?
Oh, shit.
Yeah, I'm going with 86's Alien.
Yeah.
All right.
Do
So
everything. Aliens murdering the hell out of people, Space Marines, Sigourney Weaver. What more do you need?
it's 30 minutes cut off. I'm kidding. Aliens is up for top 7. So I'm gonna go to Sandy first. Sandy, Aliens, does it make the list?
All right. Can we all see that?
Is that a cat?
That's my cat.
Hi, kitty.
What type of cat is that?
She's a Manx cat. She doesn't have a tail, and she can jump about 50 feet up in the air. But you want to know what her name is?
Ripley.
Ripley.
And I wanted to name her Vader, and then I wasn't allowed to do that. I wanted to name her Anakin, wasn't allowed to do that. And my wife was the one that brought it up and said, what about a badass female action star in the form of Ellen Ripley? And it was done at that point. This movie changed the franchise from the horror thriller that the first one was, more a noir type of horror movie, to balls to the wall action from the start to the end of this movie. It doesn't stop. It continually goes. Not only do you have the aliens by the thousands, you've got space marines that don't know what the hell they're doing. You've got awesome Bill Paxton. Come on, man. We're all fucking dead, man. It's all over. It's over, man. It's all... To Michael Biehn, who we've already talked about in The Terminator, as Kyle Reese. And then you've got Ripley, who not only is badass, but then she's got that maternal instinct, what makes her even more badass because she's protecting little Newt. And then she gets the flamethrower and the grenade launcher, and then she gets into the mech thing that she's got and puts a beating on that alien queen. This gets on my list every day, all day long, all week long, hands down, done.
All right, well, very good diatribe from Sandy. Also, welcome to Cameron's section of this list right here, because we had 2 Cameron noms in a row.
Yep.
Going back to me, I love Aliens. I think it's a great film. It's a great action film. Last spot on the list, though, I think there are a few other movies that I would rather put on this list than Aliens.
Oh.
Although I will give them a lot of credit for, it's like, how do we do a sequel? Okay. Bear with me, guys. We'll take the title, add an S.
Add an S to it.
That's it. And that's it. Boom, go picture. But I much love this movie. I much love Cameron. But he's not doing 65 Avatar movies. I guess want to know.
All right.
Hunter?
Chance?
Yeah.
This gets on the list.
Fuck.
80's is the perfect 80s action movie. You're talking about nonstop, as Sonny said, all nonstop, balls to the wall, just gritty action. And that's what I look for in a great action movie.
All right, so that sealed the deal. Aliens makes the list and rounds out the top 7. Jonathan, what would you have said about Aliens?
I would have given it a no because a little controversial. I hadn't seen it.
Well, not really controversial. It's just,
I'm going to say
you. Yes, if you want to subscribe to Sandy's mailing list, leave your email down below. But we have our top 7. Before we do that, we're going to go into honorable mentions. There's a few movies that I would fought tooth and nail to get them on the list. The big ones that I think didn't get on that should have, Lethal Weapon. I think definitely should have been on this list.
My next
First Blood was where I thought Sandy was going.
Yeah.
I think should have been on this list.
It was where I was going.
And yeah, I knew that. And other one I thought about Commando and Mad Max 2: The Road Warrior.
Nice.
Yeah.
Sandy, any honorable mentions you got?
Yeah, okay, so I'll just go real quick down my list. I had Commando, Lethal Weapon, First Blood. Chance was exactly right. That's exactly where I was going with Stallone. We all forgot Patrick Swayze in Roadhouse. Roadhouse is Escape from New York. Is a great action movie from like right from the beginning. Big Trouble in Little China, my Kurt Russell-a-thon right there. All 3 the Indiana Jones, Tango and Cash, The Running Man, Jean-Claude Van Damme in Bloodsport, but you could put literally anyone in there and he would be okay. Conan the Barbarian was another Arnold one that I thought about. Rocky IV I put on there because it's got the most action out of all of them. Back to the Future, Goonies, Highlander, Red Dawn, Willow, Over the Top, Superman 2, Transformers the movie, Batman 1989. That rounds out my list.
Now I'm not realizing I probably should have gone to Sandy last. But Hunter, do you have anything else to say I didn't mention?
Yeah, a few I have is Batman 89, The Karate Kid, the original Big Trouble in Little China, The Running Man, Last Crusade, Temple of Doom, and Goonies.
All right, Jessica, you got anything?
Oh, I think the only ones that I had on my list that hadn't been said, I also had another Van Damme 80s action movie on here, Kickboxer.
Oh, God.
And for my Lethal Weapon, I actually chose Lethal Weapon 2 because I find it to be the better movie of the two between the first two.
I actually agree.
I can't sign off on that one. But that's fair. Has anyone brought up Red Dawn? I think Sandy said it.
I did. Yeah.
Okay, that's what I thought. Come on. Jonathan, any honorable mentions you have?
Yeah, some interesting honorable mentions. I got Commando on my list, The Running Man on my list, 48 Hours on my list, Conan the Barbarian on my list, and also some movies that you didn't brought up is They Live,
Almost put it on
The
mine.
Untouchables, and John Woo's The Killer.
More drama.
Ooh,
Untouchables
yeah,
is more drama for me.
And also one action movie that I'm surprised I would have taken this action film if they would have said no to Aliens. I would have said George Miller's The Road Warrior. Really love The Road Warrior. If Aliens
I brought up.
say no. Yeah,
I brought up Road Warrior. I love that film to death. Although with Fury Road out, it kind of makes Road Warrior irrelevant. Much I love it. Fury Road is essentially just a better version of Road Warrior. But in any case, we have our top 7. That is
wait,
Die Hard.
hold on. I forgot one more thing. I forgot to mention this. The Untouchables. I know it's more of a drama though, but it has more action in it. So I put that.
You said the Untouchables. You said the Untouchables.
Oh, oops, my bad. Sorry.
Well,
Can I continue with the show?
Sorry, I'm sorry. Okay, continue. I'm sorry.
He said the Untouchables.
Yeah.
All right. Our top 7, uninterrupted.
All right.
Die Hard, Tom Cruise / Top Gun, RoboCop, Raiders of the Lost Ark, Predator, Beverly Hills Cop, and Aliens. Really, really solid list. But we have the hard part. These are all really great movies, but here's the hard part. We got to cut 2 of them. This is the elimination. This is the eliminations period. What we got to do is the antithesis of round 1. We nominate a movie to get off the top 7 and 3/5 vote. If it gets, it's off the list. So I'm gonna start. And so this is a movie that I didn't want on the list to begin with, and I'm saying Beverly Hills Cop should get the boot. I love the movie, but I think I just don't think it can hang with the rest of these. So, Sandy, you nominated it, so I'm going to go to you first. Beverly Hills Cop. Does it stay or does it go?
I'm going to say it goes.
All right. Sandy's on my side.
With the rest of the list, it's more, I would probably, with the rest of the list, consider Beverly Hills Cop more comedy than action at this stage. So yeah, I'll sacrifice it.
All right. Jessica, Beverly Hills Cop, does it make top 7?
Looking at what we have for the top 7, it's definitely the one that doesn't quite fit in with one of the 2 that doesn't quite fit in with the rest. So I'm probably going to be voting it too.
All right, so that is it. Beverly Hills Cop is off the top 7. Hunter, Jonathan, what would you have said? Jonathan, I'll go to you first.
I actually will give it a no though. So there.
So you would have said it goes?
Yeah, it goes. Unfortunately.
And Hunter, you haven't seen it.
Yeah, that's why I thought.
Well, you get to nominate something. I may regret this, but you're going to get to nominate something to get off the list as well. So it is your pick.
I mean,
what goes?
Just because I haven't seen it, I'm about to vote Top Gun.
All right, so Top Gun is on the chopping block. Another one Sandy put on. But
I'm sorry, Sandy.
I'll give my vote this time, and I say Top Gun and Tom Cruise stay on the list. I'm going to go to Jonathan. Does Top Gun stay or does it go?
I might be worried I might never come back to the show again and say it goes. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Sandy. I'm sorry, Chance.
Your worry is valid, buddy. Your worry is valid.
I'm sorry.
It stays on the list. I don't need to say anything more. Stays on.
That's it. And Jessica, you are the deciding vote in this case.
Sorry, boys. You and I both know that there is a movie way more deserving to get kicked off this list.
So it stays?
It's staying.
Thank Christ. Okay. So Top Gun moves on to top 5. So Jessica, you get to say what that movie is, as you get the next vote.
Oh, I really don't want to have to say it because it hurts me painfully, but I'm booting Raiders.
Wait, does that say Raiders the Lost Ark? Where's the of?
It says Raiders. This hurts me.
Oh, Raiders, this hurts me. Okay, I thought it said Raiders the Lost Ark. Where's the rest of the title? But Raiders is up for top 7. I can't remember who put this on. Okay, Jonathan put this on. So does Raiders stay or does it go?
It stays, guys. Come on. It stays.
He's wearing the hat.
He's wearing the hat. Well, yeah, I had to ask anyways.
And I'm not taking it off.
Hunter, Raiders, does it stay or does it go?
It stays for me.
All right. I'm going to go to me next. And, okay, here's my situation. There's one that I would much rather go on this list. There's one I would much rather take off this list. But I'm worried if I don't forsake Raiders, that one might not leave. But either way, you know what? I'm gonna let Sandy go first. I'm not gonna do this. Sandy, does Raiders stay or does it go?
Revenge.
No, I'm gonna say Raiders stays because I have
doesn't matter what I say
because I have a feeling I know. So I'm okay with that one. So Raiders stays.
See, so Jessica. Okay, I'm gonna go to Jonathan next. Jonathan, your next nomination for something to go.
Predator.
Okay, no, that's not where I thought you were going. Can we all just like unanimously say Predator stays?
Stays.
Okay,
yeah.
So yeah,
Well,
not even gonna waste time on that one. And Sandy, I don't believe you nominated anything to go, so you're up.
I haven't yet. I am going to vote to have removed from the top 5. Still in the top 7, but out of the top 5, I'm going to vote Aliens off the list.
That's what I was waiting for. Aliens, get out of here. That's off the top 5 for me. And Jessica, you put it on, so I'm gonna let you say whether or not it goes. Aliens, stay or does it go? Keep in mind what's left.
Hard choices.
I know, because the one that legitimately does not belong on this list anymore, you guys overruled me on.
That's how it goes sometimes. I want to flip it on the list, but I didn't get my way.
I literally cannot afford to lose any of these other movies. Like they completely deserve to be here. So you're putting me in the hell of a pickle here.
Yes, I am.
Pickles are good.
Pickles are delicious.
It goes.
No.
All right.
Look at that.
That settles it. Aliens is, thank God, not moving on to top 5.
Numbers.
Hunter, I'm assuming you would have said to let it stay.
I would have let it stay.
Of course.
I love that movie.
Oh,
And Jonathan, what would you have said about Aliens?
I never saw the film, so I would have given it.
That's right. Okay, now I remember. Now I remember your naivete. All right. Either way, we have our top 5. That is Die Hard, Top Gun, RoboCop, Raiders of the Lost Ark, and Predator. So now we come to the rankings portion of the show. What we're going to do is we will go around, write down on whiteboard paper, whatever we have, what we believe deserves to go on what spot on the list. We're going to go 5, 4, 3, and the number 1 movie on the list. So, gentlemen and Jessica, if you will please write down what you think deserves to go in the number 5 spot.
I was done like 10 minutes ago.
Well, yeah. I know you have it written down. All right. It looks like we're all ready. So I am going to go first. I have Raiders of the Lost Ark at number 5. Going to Sandy.
Raiders of the Lost Ark.
It's 2 for 2. Jessica, you want to seal the deal?
Yep.
All right,
Raiders.
that settles it. Raiders is the number 5 movie on the list. So now, if you will all write down what should go in the number 4 spot on the list.
Oh God. Damn.
All right, I'm ready. Gonna go to Hunter first.
I have Top Gun / Top Cruise.
Okay, Top Gun. Yes, I'm glad we're making that distinction. Jonathan.
Top Gun.
Jessica.
I have Die Hard.
Oh,
Ouch.
wow! It's like the airs like left our collective rooms.
It's the same
Sandy.
time.
I put RoboCop with a pretty accurate drawing of his gun shooting.
All right. And I hate to do this. I have Top Gun. Sorry, Tom. Was sad face because I had to put number 4. Yeah, I know it hurts, but Top Gun is at number 4.
That's not bad. It's not bad.
Top 5. Still good. All right, now number 3 movie on the list. Christ.
Ooh, should be number 3.
It's getting harder and harder now.
This is definitely getting tough.
Okay.
All right. Looks like we are all just about ready. Sandy, you good, buddy?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to go first this time. I have Predator. Sandy.
I'm still with RoboCop with the same awesome gun.
Okay. Jessica.
I went with Die Hard again.
I should have figured. Jonathan.
Makes my heart hurt.
I changed my answer in the last minute, and more rethink about it. I will pick Predator.
And somebody changed their answer in between. Oh, wait. No, never mind. That doesn't count. So we have 2 for Predator. Hunter, do you have... You have to have one of these 3. What do you have? Predator?
Predator.
Okay, cool. So Predator is at number 3. So now, people, it is time to do the number 1 movie on the list. If you all just go ahead and write it down. This should be fairly simple, but you never know. All right. Looks like we are all, I believe we're all ready.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Yes.
Gonna go to Hunter first.
Yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker. Die Hard.
Jonathan.
Yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker. Die Hard.
Die Hard. Jessica.
Oh, I'm gonna die on this hill alone, aren't I? RoboCop.
It's very likely. Sandy.
Die Hard with my picture of Nakatomi Plaza over there. So Die Hard.
Thank God someone did a drawing because I didn't. Die Hard. So Die Hard wins the list. So our 5 to 1 we had number 5, Raiders of the Lost Ark. Number 4, Top Gun. Number 3, Predator. Number 2, RoboCop. And the number 1 action movie of the 1980s, Die Hard. Was there ever any doubt? I mean, come on. That movie is just absolutely fantastic. But
number 1 scene never
I want to thank everybody who came on, to let everybody who watched. It's my panelists, Hunter, Jonathan, Jessica, Sandy, and from me, all my admin buddies, Full Metal 5, I want to say thank you for joining us. Like, share, subscribe, and we will hopefully see you next week.